Hello and thank you for tuning into ScamTV. This channel is brought to you by Stamp Out Scams Incorporated, a registered nonprofit organization dedicated to scam prevention. Helping the public spot a scam is our mission here on ScamTV. Many perplexing psychological factors and questions arise when discussing scams and scammers. These factors are very important pieces of knowledge in fighting back against fraudsters. We are going to address most of these psychological issues right here at ScamTV. These psychological tricks are commonly referred to as mind games. And yes, scammers use them very, very effectively. In the 3 previous videos of the mind games used by scammers series, we addressed the psychological phenomena called trust in authority, social proof, and scarcity and urgency. If you haven't seen these 3 previous videos, please go back and watch them when you have a chance. They are posted right here on our ScamTV channel. Don't worry, watching these previous videos will not be like sitting through a college psychology course. We break down these scammer mind tricks into layman terms, along with helpful visuals. Let's use this knowledge to beat the scammers at their own game. It's important to remember that scammers successfully utilize these mind games, among many other mind games, when conducting scams. So, knowing what they are may just help you or a loved one avoid being scammed. The next mind game trick that scammers often use, and which we will be addressing in this video, is the principle of reciprocity. Reciprocity is a fundamental principle in human interactions, encapsulating the expectation that one good turn deserves another. Scammers exploit this principle by creating a sense of indebtedness in their targets, which can then be used to manipulate them into parting with their money, personal information, or even unwittingly aiding in the perpetration of a scam. The tactic begins with what appears to be an act of kindness or generosity from the scammer. This could manifest as a small gift, a helpful service, or valuable information provided for free. The objective is to engage the target's natural inclination to reciprocate the favor. It's akin to a chess game, where the scammer's opening move is designed to prompt a specific response that advances their strategy. Once the target has accepted the initial gift, the scammer's next step is to make a request that, under normal circumstances, might be met with skepticism or refusal. But because the target feels a sense of obligation due to the principle of reciprocity, they are more likely to comply. The request might be for something seemingly innocuous, like completing a survey, which could then be used as a pretext to harvest personal data. Scammers are skilled at escalating their demands incrementally. What starts as a small favor in return can develop into more significant requests. The victim, already feeling indebted, may feel compelled to continue the cycle of reciprocation, leading them deeper into the scam. This could involve sending money to cover urgent expenses or providing sensitive information under the guise of necessary paperwork. The effectiveness of the reciprocity scam is enhanced by its subtlety. The initial act by the scammer does not need to be grand. It merely needs to trigger an automatic psychological response. This is because reciprocity is not a matter of logical calculation but rather an ingrained social norm that operates on a subconscious level. People often feel uncomfortable if they believe they owe someone, and scammers exploit this discomfort. In the online world, reciprocity can be leveraged through digital means, such as offering a free ebook in exchange for an email address. The scammer can then use that address to send phishing emails or other scam-related content, counting on the fact that the initial, seemingly fair exchange has lowered the recipient's defenses. Social engineering scams, such as the quid pro quo technique, rely heavily on reciprocity. A scammer, for example, might call office numbers until they reach someone who believes they've received tech support in the past. The scammer offers help with an IT issue and, in the process, asks for login credentials or other sensitive information. The employee, believing they are returning the favor, complies without realizing they are compromising security. Understanding and awareness of the principle of reciprocity and its potential for misuse are critical in scam prevention. By educating the public about this and other psychological tactics, organizations like Stamp Out Scams can empower individuals to recognize the signs of a scam, even when it's dressed up as a favor or a gift. It's essential to cultivate a mindset where acts of generosity, especially from strangers or unexpected sources, are met with healthy skepticism and due diligence. In our next Scammer Mind Games video series, we will address the scammer trick called commitment and consistency. This mind games rests on the premise that once a person has made a commitment, they're more likely to engage in behaviors that are consistent with that commitment. Scammers use this by getting victims to make small initial commitments, which then can escalate to larger ones. This next mind game video promises to be another eye-opening video on just how successfully scammers use psychological tricks in their scams. These tricks are super important to be aware of because if you see one of these mind games coming down the tracks, you can jump out of the way. Here at ScamTV, our goal is to give our viewers and the public as a whole as much information as we can on scams and scammers, but also learning as much as we can on why we as humans fall for these scams is also very important. Scammers like to reuse the same scams, and they also like to reuse the same mind tricks. Scammers seem to have no remorse and operate with impunity, with no compassion on whose lives they are destroying or the pain they inflict. Their only motivation is to steal your hard-earned money. While scammers steal from innocent victims all over the world, the average middle class from the United States are their favorite targets. People they refer to as unsophisticated losers. At Stamp Out Scams, we are working hard on reducing the proliferation of scams. We are combating scams and doing our best to educate the public and eradicate the scourge of scammers. Knowing the current scams and what mind games they use on their victims is crucial to showing the scammers that we are not just the unsophisticated losers they think we are. We are a society that arms ourselves with knowledge and that cares passionately about combating scams. For this, we need your assistance. You can help by donating to our cause. Since we are a registered nonprofit, your donations are tax deductible. Please help us in our war against scammers. Donations can be made directly through our website at stampoutscams.com. Thank you very much for tuning in to ScamTV. We greatly appreciate it and we hope the information we provide helps you or your loved ones avoid being scammed. As always, we ask that you please subscribe to ScamTV and like this video. It really does help in our scam prevention efforts.